So now we're going to go to the Abrams. Okay, let's talk about the Abrams. All right. Do we have any video for the Abrams? Let me see here. I have this right here. I mean, there was video. No, not a video. There's like a picture. There's pictures of the Abrams. So, yeah. So let's take a look at the Abrams. So first of all, what do you guys think about the Abrams? What do you guys think about the Abrams? I personally think it's a great wheel. I mean, Sherman, it's Leaperkim kept up with their no holds bar utility design, off-roading type. Well, actually, no, this one is off-roading, whereas the Sherman was not. So I feel like, you know, they heard the cries of many people were like, you know, the Sherman, although it was a great street wheel, it looked like it was an off-roading wheel. As many people mentioned, you look at it and you're like, dude, I can take this thing off-roading. Dude, really? That thing is heavy and it's going to break your leg. Not only that, the clearance was terrible on that thing. And it was obvious, partly because of the rail. But this, they answered. They give you answer. Answer is right here. I mean, you can see clearly that here, you know, the rail doesn't interfere with clearance at all. You know what I mean? It looks like the rail stops at this point. That's weird. We'll have to see it in real life. But what do you guys think about the Abrams? What do you guys think about the Abrams? For 99% of EUC riders, they won't go over 40 miles per hour. Very often, I feel like I think manufacturers should now focus more on new technologies like suspension, quality parts, durability. Very good, Spokes. Very good point. But let's be honest, Mr. Spokes. If you look at the comparison between InMotion, Kingsong, and more high-performance wheels, it's the high-performance wheels that's leading the way, not those lesser wheels. I say lesser wheels in terms of performance. So InMotion, when they first started, they were great in terms of quality and bringing in new riders because they were safe, they were small, they were budget-friendly at the time. But now we've gone past that. We've gone way past that. So now these guys, even though a small percentage of people will be doing 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, they're the ones who get the exposure. They're the ones that bring the exposure. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with this? The people who ride fast are the ones that bring the exposure. It's not necessarily the other guys who with lesser wheels, you know. And even if the guys who have wheels that do 50 miles an hour, and these guys end up not doing 50 miles per hour, they do like 30 miles per hour. The perception is there. It's the perception. So that people are thinking, whoa, this guy got an Abrams. Wow, 50 miles per hour. Commander, 50 miles per hour. Sherman, wow, I can't hang with these guys. And these are the guys that are promoted. These are the reckless ones. So as much as people, you know, as much as what you're saying is true, they're the reason that these companies are able to jack up the price and sell more wheels because they're getting the exposure. They're making it possible for people to know more about these wheels. Okay, so the Abrams will be dope. It's great. If you compare, okay, let me read some more of your comments. Okay, so and 22 is nice. Abrams wheel is dope. 22 is nice. Read the rest of my reply. Haha, Spokes. Oh, where's the rest of your reply, Spokes? That's why I said Sherman should be standard. Indeed, I agree. Sherman so far is the standard. It is, in my opinion. It is, and that has been my opinion. In fact, when I reviewed the Sherman, I said the same thing. And there were some other minor issues too. There was no USB port. There was no cutoff switch. Minor things, but overall, that wheel is just a beast. I like watching guys that rip on trails and the city setting. Exactly. And this Abrams is going to handle that trails part, whereas the Sherman is the city part. The 50 mile per hour wheels are safer on those of us who ride 35. Correct, because you're never going to reach that threshold since you know that's your limit. You know your limit is 35, 40. You know your wheel is capable of doing way more than that. So you're safe. You're a safe dude. You're never going to, reach that limit or push it to that point where it's not able to, where you're starting to question whether or not this wheel can handle what you're throwing at it. I want to see a big guy rip like Chooch. Oh man, Chooch is extremely light. Okay, he's extremely light. So, you know, the way I look at it is, if he can ride a Sherman, I mean, that wheel is pretty much for anybody, because he's really light and he's riding the Sherman off-roading. You know, that's freaking awesome. Isn't the Commander just as heavy as the Sherman? Let's solve that problem now. So the weight on this is 77 pounds. What? I thought it was heavier. It says 77 pounds, the Sherman. Okay. The Abrams is 85 pounds. So the Commander is 85 pounds. So 3,600 watt hour battery on the Commander with no rails, no protection, is heavier than a Sherman. Oh, this one is 3,200 watt hours. So it's 400 watt hours more. But either way, this thing has protection and everything. Yeah, so it's heavier. It's a lot heavier. It's heavier by like what? At least 10 pounds, or 80 something. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, it's wow, that's weird. That's why Sherman is freaking awesome, man. But it's weird. It's like, remember the there was a wheel that nobody remembers. It's the Z10. I always bring it back to the Z10. The Z10 was a wheel that had nothing. It was vaporware in terms of performance, because it was presented as an off-roading wheel, as a powerful wheel for that time, etc., from Ninebot, if anybody remembers. But when I first saw that wheel, it looked amazing, but there was no performance whatsoever, none, zero. When you lift that wheel, it looks like a really small wheel, but when you lifted it, it was so freaking heavy. It was insanely heavy. I still have my Z10. That's awesome. Do you still ride your Z10? That's the question. And you know, it was very dense. Why? Because of the material that it was made out of. The material that it was made out of was very heavy, was very dense, was very strong. You drop that thing, you're most likely not going to get a scratch. So they used very, very high quality material, and the motor itself, everything was just heavy. You know what I mean? So they used very high quality material for whatever reason, and it was heavy. For no reason whatsoever. Well, for that reason, but there was no point to it being so heavy. Like the Sherman. The Sherman is a very heavy wheel, but I can see why it's so heavy. The materials are great. It's a 50 mile per hour wheel. The battery is insane. It has rails. So in case you drop it, the thing doesn't just shatter. That's probably why this thing is so heavy. I don't know, but it's just weird. So Sherman was able at some point, compared to the Commander, able to build such a crazy wheel and still be less in terms of weight and cheaper. It was $2,800 compared to this thing, which is $3,700. But no, I'm talking about the Commander. The Commander is like $4,000. So what the frick is wrong with Gotway, man? Gotway and their prices, man. Marty Blake, electricunicycle.org. Okay, so the Commander. So let's see what he says here. I recently got off the phone with Jason. Here's what's known about the new veteran Abrams. 22-inch wheel, 2,700 watt-hour battery pack, which is plenty for a lot of us. Okay, even me too. Look at the price, man. It's so much better. But for a few dollars more, you can get. But they always get you with this amazing rail, man. Like, why would you not go with that? And the light, the backlight is a lot better than the Commander. So even though I like the design of the Commander, this ends up being way more practical. You know what I mean? It ends up being a lot more practical. You want lights in the back, dude. You want a big light in the background. You don't want people just coming up and hitting you. You want lights. Yes, you're going to put lights on your backpack, but you just want to make sure that there's constant light no matter what. If you forgot your backpack, if your battery light on your backpack dies, it doesn't matter. There's going to be lights. And here it is. It's just so practical. Improved water resistance, modular. That's so vague. Modular. The wheel is just modular. It's just a modular wheel. So I can just take a King song and put it. What I would like some more specifics. $3,700. What do you guys think of that price? What do you guys think of that price? $3,700. That's not bad. I still have my Z10, but I can't compare it to the Sherman. Of course not, man. It's just a nice wheel to have because, you know, it was hot at the time. That is heavy, heavy. Yeah. Are you referring to the? You're referring to the Commander. Yeah, the Commander is very heavy, very heavy. Yep, very heavy. The Commander looks okay. So we're talking about this now. We're talking about the Abrams now. So what do you guys think about the Abrams? It's a 22-inch wheel, 2,700 watt-hour battery pack, which is more than enough for a lot of people. Improved water resistance. It's modular, not specific on what that is or what that means. The former one just meant the lights were modular. $3,700, and he says, oh, and it appears that Veteran will be discontinuing production of the Sherman due to parts. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. Veteran is no longer making the Sherman. So the Sherman was a pilot, in my opinion. The Sherman was a pilot. It was maybe it wasn't. But why? I'm not sure why. What kind of parts they're referring to. Either way, they're not making it anymore. So if you have a Sherman, you're caught between a rock and a hard place. You save it over time to increase it in value because that's usually how these things work, or you sell it real quick because competition will make the Sherman irrelevant because now you're going to have probably better battery technology, better setup technology in terms of how they set up the wheels to make it more light and more efficient and faster and more range, etc. So at some point you're going to say to yourself, I have a wheel that's lighter. I have a wheel that's faster. I have a wheel with this and this and that. I don't need the Sherman anymore. Nobody needs the Sherman. So whether you sell the Sherman or not, I don't know, man. That's going to be a tough one for you. Because who's going to buy the Sherman when they have something like this? You know, when they have something like this. Because the main issue with the Sherman is how heavy it is. That's the main issue. Hey, UStride, I just sent you a DM on Instagram of the real world pics of the Abrams. Okay, let me head over to there real quick. Hold on. Where is my I had it opened. Instagram. Hold on for a second. Hold on, guys. Instagram. All right, so you sent me a DM, right? Oh, there you are. Oh yeah, I have that. I was just gonna so this is from EUC Vibes. Check out his channel. I just started following him on Instagram, but he just sent me this. So what do you guys think of this front look? Dude, whoa, look at the pedal. I love that pedal. Yes. Oh, there's more. Okay, cool. Hold on. Let me make this bigger. Okay, so guys, what do you think? I'm not going to say anything yet. Just tell me what you think of this look. What do you think of this look? Wow. Oh my gosh, Veteran. Okay, I don't want to skew the results here. Skew your responses. Thomas, the Sherman is still the best wheel out. Congratulations. Look at the headlights. Look at the lights. I don't know how to say that name. Athukora. What do you think of the lights? Guys, what do you think of this wheel? I mean, it looks amazing. What do you guys think? It looks way better from this angle. It looks fantastic. I'm sorry. It looks like it's not playing around. It looks serious. Serious. Lights look cool. So I'm going to start talking now since it looks good. So most of us agree that this thing looks amazing. Whereas the Commander, a lot of you agreed it looked great on the 3D model, but in real life you agreed it did look good. Okay, but most of you were still on the whole part of it. Okay, like you weren't so quick to spend money on that thing, on the Commander. That's a monster tire though. And isn't that typical of Sherman? Isn't that typical of Sherman, Roger? they usually have crazy wheels. And this wheel looks like a combination of off-road and on-road. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it looks like a combination of off-road and on-road. It's mostly off-roading, but it's not as beastly as some other off-roading wheels I've seen. And also, it looks like, it was designed for people who plan on riding on road. So this would be good for rain, for example, on road, slippery conditions. Real world pics. Yeah, I see it. Better than the Commander. How many? Okay. Who thinks, let's compare this to the Commander now, because these two are competing against each other. Let's be honest. These two are literally competing against each other. The Commander and the Abrams are literally competing against each other. Let's be honest with that. So I want to know, what do you guys think of which wheel is better? So I want to see based on responses. If you think the Commander looks better, type in Commander. If you think the Abrams looks better, type in Abrams. Let me see if I can. All right, so I'm gonna put this picture up because it's a real world picture, or video, I should say. Which one looks better? If you think the Commander looks better, type in Commander. If you let's count. Let's see. Roger, this okay. Better than the Commander. Yep, Abrams. I like Abrams. Damn. Sorry, Commander. But I want the range of the Commander and speed of the Commander. Exactly. Abrams, Commander. So far, one Commander. Just by looks. Yes, just by looks. Only looks. Nothing else, because we haven't tested this. Nobody have tested this. And if anyone have tested this, there's no official results. So just looks, pure looks. Abrams. The Commander looks like a robot from Doctor Who. Commander. It's hard to pick though. So far, Commander, Abrams. Yeah. So it looks like, it could be a tie. But Commander. Wow, it kind of looks like a tie, guys. It looks like a tie. Although it started off with Abrams, it seems like it's a tie. Abrams. Yeah, it's a tie. And it makes sense because these two are competitors. I would go with the Abrams. I'll tell you why. I love the Commander, but I would go with the Abrams only because, number one, the looks just fantastic. Okay, let's put this thing back up here. The looks is fantastic. It's no holds barred. It's like the Commander in terms of no holds barred, no playing around. They're both not playing around. But here's the thing. Look at this. So I don't know if you noticed, but this is appears to be a metal piece around the lights, and it looks embossed. So it looks extruded. Okay, so that in case this thing hits the surface, it doesn't affect the light. So the light is already protected. The lights are protected. That's awesome. There's 4 of them. Obviously, they took that from InMotion. So InMotion, hey, kudos to InMotion. I'm not sure why they have 2 and 2. I'm sure there's a reason for that. And then you have the, the typical pioneering look of the Sherman, the bars, front and back. Then you have this amazing body. The body is just on point, man. Wow. Look at this thing. Like, you can see the little accents, the little designs that they put on there, similar to the Sherman. It's just beast. And you can tell they learned a lot from the comments that other people were. So for example, like right here, you don't see the rail coming out too far, which would allow for less clearance. So if you're going up a sidewalk, for example, the sidewalk would destroy this. Remember when Marty was when he went on the overheat hill, and then he got to the very top, and then there was this tiny little lip of a sidewalk, and he came and he damaged the rail at the very bottom right here, because he was kind of like pointing out, you know what I mean? It was sticking out. And the pedal, I mean, come on, no nonsense. This, obviously they know that people are going to buy their own pedals with spike, so they just added spike. So this thing looks taller. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention about the Commander is in the rendering, there didn't seem to be spoked rims or spoked motor or whatever you call it. In the actual version that will be sold, it looks like there will be spoked. So it's not going to be a complete metal tire. It has spokes. It has holes in it, which is nice. Wow, look at that back, man. Are you serious? Come on, guys. This thing looks great, man. It looks great. So one thing that's prominent and has been prominent about the veteran Sherman is the build quality. The build quality is like no nonsense, like zero nonsense. And then you have this big light, which again, it makes sense because you need light, dude. You need a backlight. Like every motorcycle has a backlight. Every bicycle, if you don't have one, they put one. You need that. You can't compromise on a backlight. And it looks like the Commander totally compromised on the backlight. Now it appears that there will be no speakers. I'll look at the information, but I don't see any speakers whatsoever on here. Again, this is from EUC Vibes, so check out EUC Vibes channel. I don't know if the photos are from him, but he just sent it to me. But look at this right here. This is protecting the mudguard. That's awesome. Are you serious? So I think this is going to act doubly. It protects the mudguard, but I think what it really was put there for, it was pretty much put there as a stand. So you can lean this thing back, and if it's not stable enough, you can just get some stuff on eBay, clamp it onto here, as many people have done already on their veteran Shermans, and just plop this thing back. But I really like the pedals. I like the build. No nonsense. Look at this power box. Wow, look at that. Look at that. This is intense, guys. This is some serious design. See, the thing about veteran Sherman is, you know, they've taken design very seriously. They've taken build quality very seriously. And you can tell with all these grooves and all these extra, you know, pieces that they put together. And like, it's just nothing. It doesn't appear that nothing, like everything that was done with purpose. You know what I mean? It wasn't just put there to be put there. It was purposeful. Wow, look at that. Obviously, this person just came from some riding. Beastly, man. You can tow something with this. Just tag something on the back of this and tow it. This is from the bottom look. This is beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. So no light doesn't look no light does not look protected. It sticks out further. No, here's what I mean. Here is what I mean. So if you look closely, all right, if you look closely, you can see that the light is protected. You see that? You see? Do you see what I mean? Right here. The lights are in here, and then you have this protective shield right here. It's kind of like when you have a phone. Like this is my phone, right? And the phone has a lip. The phone case has a lip around the screen. So when I drop my phone on a flat surface, a completely flat surface, that is, my screen is protected because the only thing that will touch are the borders of the case. So that's what I feel is going on right here. The border of the light is has metal around it to protect it. That's what I meant. Yes, it is sticking out. It is sticking out, but this is why I feel they added this metal piece around the light to protect it. Does that make sense? That more than likely just reflective. No, I hope not. Because if this is just reflective plastic, that is so impractical. And Sherman has just lost 1 point. Or veteran has just lost 1 point. But it looks like metal to me. Why would they add plastic? That would be so ridiculous. Unless it's like some type of plastic that's really, really strong. Like some type of really strong plastic that I don't know about. No, that's really not cool. What's not cool? Anyway, let's go back to the specs. Let's go back to the specs of this wheel. Where is it? Right here. So we know that it's an off-roading wheel. It was designed for off-roading. Marty details the specs. Okay, this is the specs. And this is the handle, typical veteran. Typical. I like it. I like the look. I don't really like the light. I don't really like how it's sticking out like that. But hey, I'm looking at it now from the perspective of practicality. It's nice to have a nice wheel, but a wheel that's practical is better. Wonder if you could fit a knobby. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be. Look at the side view. Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. It's just a no nonsense wheel, man. It's just, hey, you want a wheel? You want a great wheel? Boom. And look at those spikes. My concern about spikes is that I wouldn't be able to like move my foot, because when I ride, I like moving my foot left and right and all that. I never tried spike pedals, but I can't wait to try it. Anyway, that's that. Overall, I think this is a great wheel. Overall, it's a great wheel. So if we go to Ewheels, and I don't think they have it on their site. Oh, but they do. Okay, $100 deposit. It's a 22 knobby tubeless tire. Tubeless. Ugh. So the last time I had a tubeless experience, it wasn't that great. It was the Z10, and the Z10. Every time I went over a bump, I felt that bump. It was pretty gnarly, as they say. I felt every bump. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a good idea. It's 88 pounds, just like the Commander, or 80 something pounds, just like the Commander. So it's a very heavy wheel. At least 10 pounds more than the original Sherman. Very fast, but let's see what Ewheels says. Ewheels says its max speed is 50 miles per hour. Let me see what Yuko says. But let's see if it has a smart BMS. Okay, so 3 hours to full charge, 12 amp charging, 100 volts, charges 15 amps max, or supports max amperages 15 amps. Customized connectors to fit stable. MOSFETs make it more 12 MOSFETs. Okay. Instead of 12 MOSFETs, I would prefer that they have a redundant MOSFETs, not just 12 MOSFETs. It should be redundant, so in a redundant circuit, obviously you know what that is, but if something goes bad, it switches over, using relays or whatever you want to use, switch over to some perfectly working MOSFETs instead of just having 12. You know what I mean? Are these 12 all working together? Because if that's the case, you're just increasing the capacity, or its capacity to handle more current or performance. But if any of these 12 go, you're still going down. So redundancy would be better here. Integrated aluminum alloy automatically heat dissipation system. That's nice. Would like to see what that means. Modularization sealed battery pack. Okay. I'm looking for smart BMS, because the only wheel so far I've seen with smart BMS is the KS20. I don't see anything. Anyway, so far so good, man. So far so good. This wheel is great. The Commander is great, but so far the Abrams has the edge. Next wheel is, so Commander, check. Sherman, no more Sherman. So Sherman's gone. Okay, so X for Sherman.